Have you started holding on to walls, but never told anyone? Taking shorter steps. Avoiding the stairs. Moving slower, not because you're tired, just because something feels off. It doesn't start with a fall. That's what most people get wrong. It starts with little moments you brush off. Moments that pile up until one day, you realize, you're scared to move the way you used to. But here's what no one says out loud: balance doesn't disappear because you got older. It fades because of small, everyday habits that slowly weaken the very parts of your body meant to protect you. And the worst part? Most of these habits go unnoticed, until it's too late. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 hidden mistakes that quietly rob you of your balance. Mistakes that are easy to fix, once you see them. And once you do, you'll know how to start moving with more strength, stability, and confidence, no matter your age. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Drop your city or state in the comments. I always enjoy hearing from people across the country and knowing where this little community is growing. Mistake 1: neglecting your ankles and feet. Most people think balance is all about the legs or maybe the core muscles around your stomach and back. And yes, those areas do help. But you know what part of the body gets forgotten the most, yet plays a huge role in balance? Your feet and ankles. Every time you take a step, your ankles are doing little adjustments to help you stay steady. If you step on uneven ground or trip slightly, they're the first ones to respond. But here's the issue: if we don't use them properly, those tiny muscles and joints start to weaken. Not because of age alone, but because we stop challenging them. Let me ask you something: when's the last time you walked barefoot? Or stepped on grass, sand, or gravel without shoes? Most of us have spent years walking only on smooth floors with cushioned shoes. It sounds comfortable, but it actually means our feet are doing less and less work. They stop sending strong signals to the brain. They stop reacting quickly. And over time, they just get lazy. I remember talking to an older gentleman named George, 76 years old. Healthy, sharp, no major medical issues. But he kept stumbling more often. Not falling, just those little near misses. When we checked his ankles, they were stiff. His feet had lost their strength. He told me, "It feels like my feet are asleep." The fix? It wasn't complicated. Just some simple things like ankle circles every morning, standing calf raises while brushing his teeth, and rolling a tennis ball under his feet. After 2 weeks, he said, "I can actually feel my feet doing something again." Here's something you can try right now: stand barefoot and lift yourself slowly onto your tiptoes. Can you stay steady, or do you wobble? Then try standing on one foot. If you struggle, don't worry, you're not alone. It just means those foot and ankle muscles need a little wake-up call. Start small. Walk barefoot around the house for a few minutes a day. Stretch your calves. Try heel-to-toe walking across the room. These tiny steps can bring big improvements, not just for balance, but for your posture, your walk, and your overall confidence. Mistake 2: avoiding balance practice altogether. Let's be honest, how often do you actually practice your balance? Most people don't. And that's not a criticism. It's just not something we're taught to do. We think balance is like breathing, it just happens on its own. But the truth is, balance is a skill. And like any skill, if you stop using it, you start to lose it. As we get older, we naturally become more cautious. Maybe you avoid uneven sidewalks, walk a little slower, or stop reaching for that high shelf. You're trying to stay safe. And that makes sense. But here's the problem: by avoiding those little movements that challenge your balance, you're actually making your balance weaker over time. It's kind of like a muscle. If you don't use it, it shrinks. I remember Linda, a kind 73-year-old woman I worked with. She said, "I don't move too fast anymore. I just try to play it safe." So we did a little test. I asked her to stand with her feet close together and walk in a straight line, heel to toe. She wobbled. A lot. She looked at me, surprised. I didn't know I'd gotten this unsteady. And that's exactly how it happens. Quietly. Slowly. Without you realizing it. But here's the good news, you can wake that balance system up again. And it doesn't take fancy equipment or risky exercises. Just a few simple things, done consistently. Try standing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Or walking in a straight line, placing your heel right in front of your toes with each step. Tai Chi is amazing for balance, even if you just try a few slow arm movements while standing. Or stand with your feet close together and close your eyes for 5 seconds, feel how your body adjusts. These little moments challenge your body in just the right way. They reconnect your brain, your muscles, and your inner balance system. And most importantly, they rebuild your confidence. When your balance is strong, you don't just walk better, you feel stronger. You move without second guessing. You reach, bend, and step without fear. That freedom is worth working for, and it starts with just a few minutes a day. Mistake 3, wearing the wrong footwear at home. Let's talk about something most people don't think twice about, what you wear on your feet around the house. It might seem like a small thing, but it can make a big difference when it comes to your balance and safety. In fact, wearing the wrong shoes, or no shoes at all, at home is one of the most common reasons older adults end up slipping, tripping, or falling. I know it's easy to just walk around in socks or soft slippers. They feel cozy, and they're convenient. But here's the reality, socks can slide on hardwood or tile floors. And most slippers? They're too loose, too soft, and they don't give your feet the support they need. That means every step you take is just a little less stable. And over time, that adds up. Jack, a 79-year-old retired teacher, told me how he used to shuffle around his house in socks, especially during the night. It never seemed like a big deal, he said. Until one night, I slipped on a throw rug and almost hit the floor. I grabbed the doorframe just in time. That one moment changed his routine forever. See, your feet are your body's foundation. They're not just there to hold you up, they actually help you balance. But they can't do their job if your shoes are sliding, flimsy, or too soft. Without proper grip and support, your foot muscles stop working the way they should. That leads to slower reaction times and less stability. So, what should you wear? Look for house shoes with a snug but comfortable fit. They should have good arch support, a flat, not high, sole, and non-slip bottoms. Avoid backless slippers. And skip the super squishy ones, they feel nice but don't help your balance. Some people even use grip socks with silicone bottoms if they prefer going light indoors. This one small change can give you more security with every step. Better shoes mean fewer slips, better posture, and more confidence, especially in those quick, unexpected moments like turning, reaching, or walking to the bathroom at night. Take a look at your current footwear. Are they helping you stay steady, or quietly making things harder? Mistake 4. Relying too much on furniture or walls to walk. Let's talk about something many people do without even noticing. You get up from the couch and immediately put a hand on the armrest. You walk down the hallway with your fingers sliding along the wall. You reach out to the kitchen counter just in case. It feels like a small habit, maybe even a smart one. But over time, relying on furniture or walls for support can actually make your balance worse, not better. It's something I see all the time. People start doing it after a small trip or a scare, and then it just becomes part of how they move. And I get it. It gives you a sense of safety. But here's the issue, when your body gets used to using the wall or a table for support, your own muscles stop doing the work they're supposed to do. Your ankles, your legs, your hips, and even your core, all the parts that help you stay upright, start to get weaker. There was a woman named Sarah, 75 years old. She started using a cane after a small fall, just as a precaution. But even in her own home, where she had no steps or obstacles, she kept reaching for walls and chairs. After a while, she told me, I didn't even realize I was doing it, until I noticed I couldn't go from the living room to the kitchen without leaning on something. The more she depended on those supports, the more her balance faded. But once she started working on standing and walking without grabbing onto things, even for just a few minutes at a time, her confidence started to come back. Here's a quick test: try walking across one room without touching anything. How do you feel? If it makes you nervous, or if your hand automatically goes toward a surface, that's your sign. Your body has gotten used to leaning on help instead of standing on its own. The fix doesn't have to be dramatic. Start by standing near a sturdy table and letting go for 30 seconds. Try taking 2 or 3 steps without touching anything. Slowly build from there. Over time, your body will remember how to balance on its own again. The goal isn't to take away your safety, it's to rebuild the strength and trust in your own body. And that can make all the difference. Mistake 5: ignoring vision and inner ear health. When we think about balance, most of us focus on muscles and movement. But here's something that often goes unnoticed: your eyes and your inner ears play just as big a role in keeping you steady. And if those systems aren't working well, your balance can slowly start to slip without you even realizing why. Let's start with your eyes. As we age, our vision changes. That's normal. But blurry vision, trouble with depth perception, or trouble seeing in low light can quietly mess with your ability to judge where your body is in space. If you can't clearly see a step, a shadow, or a rug edge, your brain doesn't get the right signal fast enough to help you adjust. That's when stumbles and missteps happen. Then there's your inner ear. Inside your ears is something called the vestibular system. It helps you know where your head and body are, even with your eyes closed. It tells your brain when you're tilting, turning, or moving. But over time, just like muscles or joints, that system can weaken. And when that happens, things like dizziness, lightheadedness, or a floating sensation can creep in. I remember Tom, an 80-year-old man who had always been active. But then he started stumbling on sidewalks, especially in the evening. He thought it was just age catching up. But after getting his eyes checked, he found out he had early cataracts and an old eyeglass prescription. On top of that, his doctor diagnosed him with a simple but common inner ear issue. With updated glasses and a few sessions of vestibular therapy, his balance noticeably improved. It was like the ground felt normal again, he said. So what can you do? Start by getting your eyes checked regularly, not just for glasses, but for things like cataracts, glaucoma, and contrast sensitivity. If you ever feel dizzy, off balance, or like your body is floating, ask your doctor about your inner ear health. Vestibular issues are more common than you think, and many are treatable with therapy or simple exercises. Also, think about your home. Add night lights in hallways and bathrooms. Use high-contrast tape on stair edges. These small things help your eyes and brain stay in sync, especially in low-light moments. Remember, balance isn't just about strong legs. It's about sending your brain the right signals from every part of your body, including your eyes and ears. Taking care of those systems now can help you stay steady, safe, and independent for years to come. So now that we've talked through all 5 mistakes, take a moment to think, did any of them sound familiar to you? Maybe your feet and ankles haven't been moving like they used to. Or maybe you realized you've been relying a little too much on the wall to get around. The good news is, none of these are permanent problems. Every single one of them can be improved with small, steady steps. Before you go, I'd love to know, what's one thing you learned today that you're going to try this week? Strengthening your ankles? Practicing standing on one foot? Checking your shoes? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like so I know to make more like this. Share it with a friend who might need it too. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and tap the little bell, so you don't miss any future tips to help you move with more confidence and live with more ease. Thanks for spending your time with me today. And always remember, small steps today can lead to steadier strides tomorrow. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.